Hello and welcome to the Cat Collective. I'm Nina, I'm the channel for this channel, and let's start. It's funny how always the same cards come up. Closure, freedom, and inspiration. Love that. And peace. Yeah. Access. Oh, access to otherworldly energies and love. Aww. Stars, healing, and yeah, words. Oh, yeah, well, movement, right? Yes. Do you hear that? You know what you have to do, don't you? Yeah, you know what you have to do. It sounds like it sounds a bit like you know what you have to do, but you're not doing it. Right? So you have to end something. A way of living, a way of being. It has to do something with healing. So I think you see that what you are currently doing is grouting some concrete slabs over to avoid nature to spread, right? It's this putting a plaster on something that needs oxygen almost, you know? So what you're doing, you are preventing your own healing by engaging in some old patterns that you know you need to break. It just feels like your self-made prison, you know. This looks like you know, this figure is just in her own prison and is just in a cage, but she wants to be free, right? So what's holding you back from getting out of this prison is probably the way out of it, you know. It really feels like it feels like you are overwhelmed by the external circumstances in your life, and whenever you do that, you do something that is preventing you from healing. Is that correct? Yeah, I think it is. It's this also it's this being influenced by external circumstances, because in a way it's been always like this, you know, that you always try to cope with the external by filling yourself up with how you perceive the external world. You really want just to have peace, right? And freedom, right? And yeah, of course, inspiration. Just some magic. You do have magic, it's not that. It's just that you could enhance it if you would finally break free of your old patterns, because they don't belong to you. And today I'm being guided to take you on a journey to who you were when you first came into this planet. And in a way, this journey doesn't just start by the day you were born, because you come to this planet a bit earlier, right? You already, you know, you undergo a transition phase between the astral realms and being on Earth. And this transition phase, you know, this phase of having access to the 3D reality, where we call it pregnancy, right? And I think you have never experienced being free completely, because you already picked up something that has something to do with your current pattern that you have and need to break free of, that was already introduced to you during the transition phase. This is just something that I've picked up, you know, from the stars. You know, it's almost like you're a star being born into this planet, and you went through this transition phase, but it already got mudded. Mudded? Yeah, muddy? You know, the mud, like sticky mud. Just something that is not good for you. Maybe those were toxins that your mother has inhaled. Could be that. Could be just the surroundings. You know, we already hear in the womb what's going on. It's just, you know, you have been surrounded by energies from the very first transition phase, and that's the reason why you're having such a hard time to let it go, because you don't know how it is to be completely organic. That's what I'm picking up. And you have a lot of struggles to go through this phase. And I'm wondering why. I think you know that on the other side there's something nice waiting for you. And beside the piece, you know, that we put in here, it's also psychic abilities and new beginnings. It's lovely, you know. Those are the gifts that are waiting for you on the other side. It's just that you are muddying your own waters. And you know that. You're aware of that. Nonetheless, the matrix, the 3D reality feels so dense and intense, and you don't feel like you are able to cope with it without whatever you are doing right now. You know, sometimes it can be easier to change the external circumstances to get things going another way around, but it feels to me that you also know that you are kind of a bit stuck where you are right now, and that you need to be able to find the inspiration and to be able to have access to otherworldly energies. You need to love yourself through it, right? But I think you don't know really what love really means, because You already came on this planet and it was already like this, you know, from the very transition phase to where you are now. You never really felt this intensity. It's a very huge major arcana card, right? It's this, because not a lot of cards are actually with color in this deck, and there are just a few ones, and you do have three very important cards on the table here, you know. 2 of them have color. I think the color green is also significant. And this card is also significant because this is a real plaster, you know. It's been just glued on to this card, you know. It's not self-made, right? It's artificial. And you have been putting this plaster upon you because you've been always surrounded by or you haven't been told otherwise or taught otherwise. And it seems to me that there's just the way you've been engaging with this for so many years, you know, coping with all of this, that you don't know how to, well, I think you do know the theory, you know, you do know the theory, but in practicality, it seems to me that there are 2 parts, almost, fragments of you that want to become one. Because if you engage in some behaviors that make you cope with the external world, aren't they just behaviors that are also parting yourself from yourself? I'm almost getting 2 thoughts, two sides of you, you know, almost like light and dark, if you want to see it like that, because the card has so much contrast, you know. There's the light and there's so much darkness, right? There's so much darkness surrounding you, and it's just because you put this plaster on you, right? When she has peace, she's clean and there's some magic around her, but it's a difference between this and this. You are so magical and everything, you know. It's this, you know that now. You forgot it probably for a while, but you know it now. It's just, well, what's in between here, right? What's in between? I'm almost getting, now it's getting silent, you know. It's this, what's in between is silence, you know. I think the darkness comes into your surroundings also because it's in your head, the thoughts that are leading you to this. If you could just remove them in a way, right? Then you could just act without emotions attached to everything. And I think that's important in this journey to peace, is that you don't act on impulses, even if they are feeling, they are so deeply ingrained in your system. If you imagine, you know, I'm just getting something that you already were introduced to during the transition phase, and how long it, you know, your higher self on Earth, your body on Earth, has never experienced real freedom. You basically came to this planet and you experienced coping from the very moment you were born. It feels natural to you, right? And you don't know how to reach a peaceful state when you've always been encaged, you know? When you've always been in a cage, you don't know how it is to be free, and it can be overwhelming, you know, because you are not sure about it and you want to be free, but right? Yeah, but. And the only way to get out of this is to finally close this chapter. And walk away, right? But look at this door. This door is huge, isn't it? It feels huge. It's overwhelmingly huge. I'm not even sure which cards I need to or want to pull next. Let's see if there's something. Joyful Muse. Again, inspiration twice already. And the number alignment. It's funny though. I think, yeah, so this is somehow the promise of it. And the deep quiet, meditation and stillness is also, that's a way out. You know, this is something that you could try to engage in as a substitute. Again, 11:33. So that's important. That's you struggling to get out of this, right? It's this. That's how it feels to break out of this. If you look at this figure, it's almost in a cage of that has so many spikes on it. You know, when you break out, it's overwhelming, but you want to be free, right? A bold step forward. Yeah. That's the guidance. Because what you are doing, you are just stuck in between the first and the second gate, and you want to go through this gate too. It's just that you are stuck, and you are shining artificial light on the stuckness. Yeah, and 55. Look at all the number alignments, right? 55, 11, 33. Those are this is Spirit's way of telling you that this is the way to go. And you know there's just one way. It's just overwhelming. Right? You're still stuck in here. It's not that hard, actually. It appears to me that if you just do it for a short while, it will be so much easier. Yeah, I just feel the overwhelm of this. It's this Well, you do have the key to this. Yeah, you have the key. I'm getting still again, you know, it's the stillness. I think that's what you are looking for. Stillness. If you could just quiet this voice, maybe you will get some help to quiet the voice that's telling you to engage in the old patterns. Let's see. Yes. Funny, huh? 22. Look at that. I mean, you cannot make this up. You've got 11, 22, 33, and 55. So you do have all the support. And yeah, transmuting pain, that's it, right? That's what you're doing with that's what you try to do, but you cannot achieve it unless you know what you have to do. Like, unless you do what you know what you have to do. Yeah. But you are supported. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not sure how many cards are in this deck, but I think those are the only... Look, the only cards that came up were the numbers, right? Those numbers, those repetitive numbers. You are supported and loved. So, you can just do it. Just like that. Still, you know, feels still, but engaging in this old thing, you know. It's just a guidance. And now that we've got all the cards with the number alignments on the table, maybe Spirit will give us some more encouragement. Unmarked trail, revelation. Yeah, by doing so, you will walk a path that you personally have never walked before. Therefore, you, of course, don't know what there is to expect. But what will lie ahead is a revelation. And it's light, you know. And for me, it's very special because green is my favorite color. You know, I'm drawn to this. Also with this, you know, there's so much green. And it always shows me that there's... What you are currently experiencing is this stack of shit. Yeah. That's preventing you from having access to the light completely. It's this beginning a new life, even though it is your life or has been already happening, you know. It's almost like, yeah, it's this first breath, beginner's mind. It's this living a new life, a completely new life. It's being reborn. Again, during a lifetime. And hey, this can be scary, right? Sometimes we wish that the external circumstances will make it easier. But what we also have to understand is that the internal, that changing the internal circumstances will also make the external easier. You know? Yeah. And I think that's always this uncertainty that's holding us back from doing this. But you are so supported by all the goodness of the universe, you know, all the number alignments and everything. That's your path. But if you look at the path, maybe to give you a little bit of certainty to the closure and the unmarked trail, I think that's an issue, right? Let's look at the path. So from 11 to 22 to 33 and 55. So we've got the meditation and stillness. That's what's getting you out of the immediate urge to engage in this. Almost looks like smoking. You know, we got all of that, but it can be anything. And then you will transmute the pain. It looks like a challenge, right? It looks like a challenge. But it leads you immediately, you know, so this is very dark, right? And what it leads to, it's you are becoming an inspiration and also the joyful muse. You are already this, but it will just enhance it even more than you can ever imagine. There's the psychic abilities with the goggles, you know, this the specs, the psychic specs, and all the art and music. There will be something coming into your system when you continue to do so. But let's see what's 44. What's 44? And why didn't it come up? Oh, look. Let's have a look. What's 44? It's interesting though that I know I'm drawn to go through all the cards, because this is what it feels like to be reborn during a lifetime. You know, it's looking at everything. I'm drawn to this one, number 1. So let's see. 44, where are you? Maybe a search will begin for you, who you are. You are looking at who you are. And you're looking. It's a discovery phase of yourself, isn't it? It's discovering who you are. Is it almost the okay, that's the 44. Wow. Perfect storm, the courage to step into life. That's what you are going to find in your search. The courage to step into life, because it seems to me that, you know, to have this tidy house, to sort through your chaos, right? It will lead you to not just cope with life, but live it. And all the magic, you know. I think it didn't come up because it looks so dark, right? That's why it didn't come up. Because I think that's your fear, that you will not be able to have you know, this lightness of being, you know. It almost looks, today looks almost like a shadow energy, but it's not. It's just, that's why it didn't come up. That's why I had to manually search for it. And this just, because of the number 1, it's this beginning, you know, that's why I pulled it out. It's this yeah, clarity. So, and the 55, yeah, it's this, by the time you have gone through the phase, complete phase, all of this, it will lead you to go there. And this is an unmarked trail. This is something unexpected and something you cannot know now, but something to look forward to, right? So that's very significant. It's a revelation, but Spirit is not telling you what revelation you will have. All I can say it that it's has got something to do with your psychic abilities, and also with a new beginning, because of the card that was on the bottom of the deck before I searched for it, but yeah, before I searched for this card. Yeah, so there's something to look forward to when you finally have reached this, right? And all I can say is that this is a deck where every card has the same meaning, and the meaning is everything is going to be okay. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to, you know. I hope it helped. And additional info is in the letter box below. And see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye.